back for another video. In today's video, as the title suggests, is the Shisui character timeline. And in today's video, I'll be breaking down the events, abilities, and personality of Shisui Uchiha. So sit back, relax, listen to the video, and suck in the information on this character who I feel is incredibly underrated. And just so you guys are aware, the like goal for this video is 150 likes to get another character timeline on, say, Sasuke, Naruto, Itachi, Fugaku, etc., etc. So make sure to like, share the video to a friend who likes what ifs and anime content in general. Comment your thoughts and feelings about the video down below. And in the description, there's going to be a link to my friend Void Frags, who makes these videos possible by providing me with certain things. Background. Graduating from the academy during the Third Shinobi World War, Shisui was placed on a Genin team along his best friend. Immediately after the war ended a year later, Shisui witnessed his friend die on a mission, consequently awakening the Mangekyo Sharingan. He felt responsible for his friend's death. He wasn't able to save him. A year later, he met a 5-year-old Itachi Uchiha, whom he had become best friends with while the two formed a brother-like bond. A year afterwards, Shisui began drawing attention as a genin, garnering the name Shisui of the Body Flicker for his usage of the Body Flicker technique. 2 years later, living with his parents as a jonin and breadwinner for the family of 3, Shisui's bedridden father, Kagami Uchiha, stopped recognizing him due to his decline of health from falling ill as a result of him losing his leg in the last World War. Acknowledging that everybody dies someday, Shisui is prepared for his passing. In the anime, Team Shisui was assigned a long mission, which they were tasked with chasing away Kirigakure forces, being led by Ao. Ao was a very skilled sensory ninja who was the bodyguard of Meitarumi, who was also a Kage-level ninja. The team completed their mission after Ao realized they were facing Shisui and had his team retreat. When Itachi began to act oddly, Shisui was instructed by the Konoha military police force to monitor Itachi because the younger Uchiha's position in the Anbu was instrumental to the Uchiha's future status in Konoha. Unbeknownst to the clan, Shisui in reality sympathized with the young Itachi, not wanting the Uchiha to go to war with the village as the Uchiha continued to grow angrier and more violent from the distrust of the village due to the suspicion of their involvement in the Nine-Tailed Demon Fox's attack. Shisui approached Hiruzen Sarutobi, revealing the truth to the third Hokage, trusting Shisui, seeing as he is Kagami Uchiha's descendant. Hiruzen allowed the Uchiha to spy on his clan for the village. Shisui was perplexed that the clan would not deter from the coup d'etat that they were planning and soon became greatly concerned with the consequences that would follow their actions. Ultimately, it was decided that Shisui would use Koto Natsukami, his Mangekyo ability, which I'll get into later on in the video, which was his plan, and would suddenly end the coup d'etat by putting the leader of the coup d'etat, Fugaku Uchiha, under his genjutsu. Later, as Shisui prepared to make his move, Danzo Shimura, that old man of shit, believing that simply manipulating the Uchiha's leader wouldn't end the conflict, would eventually try to manipulate him as well. Danzo would choose to take Shisui's eyes from himself in his desire to protect the village in his own way, while Shisui effortlessly subdued Danzo at first. The ruthless elder caught Shisui off guard by using the forbidden Izanagi with another Sharingan already in his possession to break free and steal Shisui's right eye. Danzo and his men would then surround Shisui, taking his left eye, but Shisui managed to escape. Shisui would then entrust his remaining eye to Itachi, telling him to protect both the village and the Uchiha name. Shisui wrote a suicide note telling his clan he could not follow through with the coup d'etat, but his clan's narrow-mindedness at this point made them unable to understand this, preventing them from understanding his desire for peace within the village and reconciliation. The contents of the suicide note also made it appear as though he had crushed his eyes when jumping off a cliff into the Naka River to kill himself in order to prevent conflict from arising over his eyes within the clan. He, at the same time, was able to erase his existence, leaving no corpse behind. In the anime, Shisui was also hoping to use his death to awaken Itachi's Mangekyo Sharingan, which he definitely succeeded in. personality. Shisui was a very humble and down-to-the-earth individual. He was never arrogant about his own talent or accomplishments, yet was not above telling others when they made mistakes. At the same time, he was open-minded, never stubbornly believing in one ideal solely, and strove to see that unique nature of the current situation before him. Shisui was also a deeply compassionate man, even to enemies, showing sympathy and kindness to a dying Mukai. This sympathy was so great that Kohinata, or Mukai Konihata, despite having been ordered to, run away and as a traitor, Shisui was ordered to assassinate the man, but tried not to until the man had, subsequently attacked him back. He was also shown to be very perceptive and intuitive, even from a young age, able to see through the emotional nature of others and likewise able to notice the smallest details around him. Shisui came to care for Itachi very much. In fact, he was like a big brother to Itachi. Shisui taught Itachi that self-sacrifice, a nameless shinobi who protects peace from within its shadows, was a true mark of a shinobi. Shisui was also very devoted to the clan, which is why the Konoha military police force asked him to spy on Itachi. It is because of this devotion that the police did not believe he could have committed suicide. This devotion was so great, his best friend Itachi believed that had he been alive during the Uchiha's downfall, he would have protected the clan to the very end, even from Itachi himself. Although Shisui was devoted to his clan, he was equally devoted to the well-being of his village, a trait his own clan is apparently ignorant of. His devotion to his village was so strong that he never fell victim to the curse of hatred. However, Shisui had a darker side. He was deeply ashamed of, out of envy to a friend who he believed had surpassed him in ability. Shisui withheld aid at a critical moment, which would have saved his life, leaving Shisui in a critical condition mentally and leading to the other shinobi's death. The guilt of what he had done led Shisui to consider himself a murderer outright, causing him to awaken his Mangekyo Sharingan, which he used as a constant reminder of his remorse and vow to never succumb to such feelings ever again. Shisui's devotion to Konoha even went as far as to attempt to put his clan's leader and best friend's father, Itachi Uchiha, otherwise known as Fugaku Uchiha's son, under a genjutsu in order to stop the Uchiha coup d'etat, which would lead to a civil war within Konoha. However, this failed when Danzo stole his right eye. Knowing Danzo's power-hungry personality would eventually lead him to steal his left eye as well as, everything else. He resolved to prevent Danzo from stealing it, to stop him from gaining too much power. With this in mind, he entrusted his left eye to Itachi and told him to protect the village, and was able to die with a smile, knowing the village would be in good hands. Despite all he had been through prior to his death, Shisui even went as far as to erase his own existence to prevent his corpse from falling into the wrong hands, which inadvertently prevented him from being reincarnated by Kabuto years later into the future and being forced to fight his own village as an Edo Tensei. According to Itachi, he and Naruto Uzumaki hold similar ideals and goals. Shisui also greatly valued the notion of family, as seen when he swore to never let the clan's issues destroy the relationship between Itachi Uchiha and Sasuke Uchiha, their brother blood bond. He also had a sense of humor, as seen when he enjoyed the difficult situation he put Itachi in when Sasuke argued with Shisui over who was stronger. Like Itachi, Shisui doesn't appear to enjoy killing people and prefers to use non-lethal methods whenever possible, as shown in using a genjutsu to scare off Ao's squad, which I noted earlier, when it was stated that he could have killed Ao and his entire squad with ease. Honestly, he should have, as this would save Boruto's team some effort. Shisui also used a genjutsu on Danzo, which would disappear shortly instead of killing him when the latter tried to steal his eyes. Appearance. Bearing stark resemblance to his ancestor Kagami Uchiha, Shisui also had short, unkempt, dark-colored hair, which you have seen throughout this entire video on screen, black eyes, and a relatively broad nose. His appearance from when he was a kid to an adult basically didn't really change except for his stature and muscle mass. He had well-defined eyelashes that were turned upwards at each end, and in the anime, however, these lines are broken instead of whole. He wore the standard attire of the Uchiha clan, which includes a high-collared, dark-collared outfit, along with a tanto strapped to the right side of the back of his shoulder. He also wore what appeared to be a harness for his tanto, which ran across his chest and fastened over both of his shoulders. During his time in the regular forces, Shisui donned the standard Konoha nin uniform as for Jonin. Abilities. Even by Uchiha standards, Shisui was noted to be one of the most talented members the famed clan had ever had. Danzo even stated himself and thought himself, he even hailed him as the strongest Uchiha of his time. His abilities allowed him to rise to the rank of Jonin 4 years into being a shinobi, and just to mark, he became a shinobi when he was 4 years old, which means that he is subsequently a prodigy. And eventually, he was a captain of his own squad. His prowess was so widely known that an entire squad of Kiri Nin quickly chose to flee upon learning of his presence. These Nin were easily Kage level, at least the leader of it, and the Jonin, well, they were Jonin level. And they would rather not confront him. A further testament to his prowess is the fact that Kabuto Yakushi wanted to reincarnate him for the upcoming war, but was unable to find a sufficient DNA sample for it. Physical prowess. Shisui's usage of the body flicker technique garnered him and gained him the name Shisui of the body flicker from his great mastery of the body flicker technique, being his signature skill. He could use it to fade out of sight, leaving no trace of either his presence or indication of his destination. In the anime, his velocity and mobility was so great that he could leave behind multiple tangible after images that could strike with actual force and could also move undetected by sensor ninja. In battle, his speed could seamlessly dodge barrages of projectiles and likewise outspace a group of enemies. He was also a proficient taijutsu user, able to defeat Itachi in several sparring matches. Furthermore, he had an extremely high tolerance to pain, as he didn't flinch from either of his eyes being removed. Waterfalls, especially the one in which he jumped off of, which in most cases is the Naka River, we hear a scream. And in most cases, in any anime or show, we hear this scream due to the velocity and the force of the waterfall, which a force of a waterfall is equivalent to concrete due to the erosion capabilities, meaning that it is at least 1.6 million pounds of force times the precursor that we have already established, plus the erosion effect, which would make our predetermined, well, like I said before, precursor even greater, meaning that Shisui has a very incredibly high pain tolerance. Ninjutsu. Shisui was able to summon a flock of crows to aid him and was able to master 3 basic nature transformations, fire, lightning, and wind, along with yin release. He was very skilled with using fire techniques, such as his clan's rite of passage, Great Fireball, Uchiha-style technique, which he could perform to a massive size, a very rare feat within the Uchiha. Shisui's uses of the technique required the efforts of many Anbu-level water release users to counterbalance it. He also had considerable skill in Kenjutsu from a young age, wielding a tanto. Against 2 Anbu, he showed similar remarkable shuriken jutsu prowess to Itachi Uchiha, and likewise demonstrated noticeable sleight of hand with multiple kunai. Shisui also proved to be a very skilled tracker. Dojutsu Sharingan. Shisui's Sharingan. Like many members of his clan, Shisui was a wielder of the Sharingan, which he awakened at a young age. His mastery of the Sharingan rivaled that of Itachi's, both being highly praised for their especially high skill and sheer power in its usage. Using it, he gains access to the Dojutsu's generic abilities, such as seeing chakra, predicting movements, and placing a victim under paralysis, Genjutsu. With just a single glance, his Genjutsu was especially powerful, hailed as the most powerful user of the clan. His most basic techniques could easily trap other powerful users of the Sharingan, like Danzo Shimura, though he had stolen his eyes, forcing the latter to resort to using Izanagi, a forbidden and ancient jutsu of the Uchiha clan. Shisui was also able to trap multiple individuals in his Genjutsu from great distances away. Mangekyo Sharingan. Shisui was one of the few members in his clan's history that was able to awaken the Mangekyo Sharingan. He awakened it when he watched a dear friend and rival die after withholding his aid in a moment of envy and weakness. Its design is a four-pointed pinwheel, and it granted him access to Koto Natsukami in each eye. Regarded as a unique genjutsu of the highest caliber, it allowed him to enter a person's mind and manipulate them into believing anything so seamlessly and completely. And just to state, Shisui was the youngest Mangekyo wielder to awaken the eye at the age of at most 6 years old. This is an outstanding feat. And just to stress the amount of finesse this genjutsu has, it can fool anyone, even the victim themselves, to believe false experiences and act upon them as if they were truly doing it on their own free will. The technique is draining, making Shisui unable to use it more than once a day with each eye. In the anime, this technique was so powerful, Shisui believed he could use it to make the entire Uchiha clan abandon the ideal that they had set upon, the coup d'etat, which forced Itachi's hand. Also, unlike most Sharingan-based genjutsu, this technique does not require eye contact between the target. Another benefit to awakening his Mangekyo Sharingan was manifesting a Susanoo. In the anime, it is green in color when manifesting its humanoid form. It takes on a fiendish look to it with a red tomoe in the center of its chest. Its defense was capable of withstanding a large barrage of explosive tags attached to kunai, leaving Shisui untouched. His Susanoo demonstrated the ability to unleash a barrage of chakra needles from its chest at an incredible speed to swiftly strike down a large group of targets. These were Ambu, meaning that the DP of these attacks, or needles, was pretty high as well. Legacy. Shisui, had been a core member of his clan. His suicide demoralized and lessened the Uchiha's fighting power. Throughout his lifetime and even in death, Shisui influenced Itachi greatly as a friend in teaching him self-sacrifice and how a true shinobi must protect his village from within its own shadow. This possibly influenced Itachi in his future actions to the staving off of a possible civil war within the village that may have escalated into a world war, as well as, even by extension, affecting Itachi. It could have affected Sasuke in the role that he plays in Boruto, being a sort of shadow Hokage, if you will. A protector of the village from the shadows he truly is. Shisui's effort to erase his very own corpse was successful, as even Kabuto Yakushi noticed that he was unable to locate it in an effort to reincarnate Shisui for the Fourth Shinobi World War. Despite leaving a note claiming that he was tired of carrying out the clan's duties, the police suspected that Itachi had murdered him, a false accusation, as I stated above. Using Shisui's death to his advantage, Itachi later told Sasuke Uchiha that he did kill Shisui to awaken his Mangekyo Sharingan and forge the suicide note, all in an effort to motivate Sasuke to kill him as repentance for his crimes. Even years after his demise, Shisui's powers and actions left their mark on the world. While Danzo used his eye he stole for his questionable agendas to maintain their village's power. Itachi kept Shisui's other eye to honor his friend's final request to protect the village and their clan's good name in a crow, inserting the eye in the body of a crow. Itachi made final arrangements to implant the bird in Naruto's body as a countermeasure against Sasuke if he learned the truth behind the Uchiha clan's demise and attempted to destroy Konoha because of the elder's influence in the situation. However, due to the immense power that Shisui's eyes held, they were eventually destroyed to prevent them from falling into enemy hands. This is shown with Danzo destroying his eye in his final moments to keep Tobi, who we know as Obito Uchiha, from acquiring it, and a reincarnated Itachi after Koto Natsukami was used on him, incinerating the crow with Amaterasu. But also, Itachi stated that above all else, Shisui wanted someone to inherit his will of fire and ideals, believing Naruto to be that someone. Anyhow, this was Shisui's character timeline, and basically I delved into the life and the events in Shisui's life. If you would like me to do this on other characters in Naruto, then hit the like goal, which is going to be 150 likes. So make sure to share the video to someone who likes what ifs or just anime content in general. Comment down below, subscribe, as I want to hit 5K by June and 10K by the end of the year. Check out my boy Void down in the description below. And Rami X loves you all. But share the video. Unless you don't have friends, which, well, that would be very unfortunate. But you don't have to do any of this. I would just like it, as it would make my day. Rami X loves you all. And as always, Rami X out.